Donnell Pantheon Fitness.
This is JT, and we want to talk to you today about exercise. D, take it away.
So just exercise in general.
Yeah, like, what do you think is important in starting exercise?
Probably like what your goal would be. Like if you want to lose weight, build muscle, or a lot of people would just tell me about their problem areas, but
Yeah,
it's like everybody has problem areas because it's your genetics, and
yeah,
certain people just won the genetic lottery of where their fat is stored,
yeah,
but like you can't spot reduce fat, so you just have to lose fat gradually throughout your body.
yeah.
And there's not really
What would
anything.
you say to someone who's like, let's say, severely overweight? Because a few times you've talked to me about people that have been really overweight, and they just either don't want to start, they don't know what to do,
Yeah,
and they just like it hurts. So
yeah.
like, what about like that?
It is like because I've been 300 pounds before, and it's just overwhelming. Like because you think about how much work you have to do to get to where you want to be, and how you have to reconstruct your whole relationship with food, and you have to learn how to exercise safely, and it just like you have to learn so much stuff about like health and nutrition and fitness. Like it's a whole different world.
And
Like
it's just overwhelming for people.
yeah, but it's like if you have somebody, a lot of people will have somebody that could help them, but they really don't just want to do the work.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, do you think because it's easier to live the sedentary lifestyle?
yeah,
Like to tell
especially
me, to
now.
tell that story about the chick that you were, she asked you. Remember, she asked you for a bag of chips.
Yeah, she had brought a bag of chips to my house, and I had told her don't bring stuff like that to my house.
Yeah,
So
because you don't eat like that. You
no,
don't eat like
like
that
I
at all.
don't, like not on a regular basis. So like I took the bag of chips and I crushed them in her
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That did she cry a little bit? Like, it's just,
she was just amazed that I did that, but
yeah, yeah. Because like not like because everyone says, "Oh, this is how I got started," but when you did it, when you because it was hard, obviously, because it's
yeah,
not an easy thing to do.
yeah,
What was the first thing you concentrated? Was there something you concentrated on, or did you start just straight like 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 those steps you talked
yeah,
about? They're daunting to people, but you were like, "Well, I'll conquer those steps," because some
yeah.
people don't want to conquer them.
It's just eventually building up like slowly and then snowballing down. Like the first thing I did was I stopped drinking pop and fast food.
That's easy.
Yeah,
That's easy, and it saves money.
yeah. And so it's like twofold, but it's like you drive down the street and there's KFC, McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? You look on TV, it's commercials constantly for food, fast food.
And it makes you happy.
Yeah, it,
Like,
it, it almost instantly happy even though the food is trash. Like
yeah,
and it does like you get the mouth pleasure for the little while, but then like you'll feel sick later.
yeah. And then it's like I think everyone's done it, where you're like, "Oh, I'll never do that again," and
Yeah,
then your body forgets about it until like 2 years later, and you go do it or whatever, you go do it again, and
yeah,
you're like, "This is why I remember I don't like doing it," because like those are just empty calories. Those are
yeah,
things you don't need. Those are
pretty much.
not. So would you say like go to like what's necessary, not like what is like a pleasure seeking thing?
Yeah,
Is it a necessity? Is a soda a necessity? It's
yeah,
not because you
but
can drink water, right?
yeah. Or you can even have I like these flavored waters, splash waters, or just no calorie carbonated
Yeah.
flavored water. It's good.
Yeah.
Like it's so many options now, especially if you go to the store, Quick Trip or somewhere. There's so much stuff you can do
Yeah.
that's not pop.
But and it's not, and it's pretty simple. Like
Yeah,
just like because even like we know a few people that have cut like I'm down to 2 Diet Cokes a day, or I'm down to whatever. It's still a good thing
yeah.
as long as you keep getting it down, further, and then exercise. What would you suggest joining a gym? Would you?
I mean, I'll talk to a lot of people that work out at home. Like
Yeah.
if you got, I don't want to do that because I enjoy going to the
Yeah.
gym. But like if you got the willpower to work
See,
out at home on
yeah.
YouTube, But
Yeah.
I would definitely. There's so many gyms and they're all cheap now. Like Planet Fitness is $10 a month. Anytime Fitness I go to is like $30 a
Yeah.
month, and it's open 24 hours. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think also, I think people put limitations on themselves to be like, well, I wouldn't use it that much, or oh, it's this far away, or it's all those like no. There's always reasons not to do it,
yeah.
and then to have the ability to do it.
Or I've even heard people say, "Well, I don't want people watching me and looking at me,"
Yeah.
but it's like nobody cares.
Nobody
Nobody
cares,
cares about you.
especially that should be another segment, like things that are myths, because
Yeah,
everyone is looking at themselves.
yeah.
It's crazy.
And then people that are into fitness, like for real, have been into fitness for years and years and years. They really want to help other people.
Yeah.
Like most of the people at the gym, of course, this is some people's pieces of shit. But most of the people that go to a gym on a day to day basis are positive, good people.
Yeah.
Even if you ask them to help you do something, they'll help you.
Yeah.
That I found for the
Yeah.
most part.
Well, in I think it's people's egos or it's different insecurities. So just
Yeah.
throw yourself into it,
Yeah.
because everyone's had those questions. When you start off, like even just being on even a treadmill for 5 minutes, like that's 5 minutes more than you did the
It's
day before.
progress.
That's
In
it.
any type of
Exactly.
gym session is progress.
Would you say, because you would say it's like an ongoing process?
Yeah,
Like
it's a
even-
journey. Like
Yeah.
instead of being worried about the destination or the weight, or I want to look this way, or I want to look like this dude. Like, well, you should focus on the journey of being the best version of yourself, or
Yeah.
at your highest value.
Yeah, that makes. I mean that, because I think if you give yourself value, you're gonna treat yourself better.
Yeah,
It's like if you're given a nice car, you're gonna treat it like shit. But if you
Yeah.
buy a nice car, you're gonna keep it nice.
right. If you saved up the money, put the equity in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, man, we live in an age where there's so many resources to just be like,
Yeah.
oh, how to do this, or like you said, work at home. I can't do it because I need, like, I don't, in a weird way, I need not a competition, but I need to be there with someone to push me, because I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, they're doing this. I better, like, I can do that, or I'll go this, or I'll do that sort of stuff to push myself. And it's not a competition with the person, but you're in the same thing. You're in the same
Yeah.
realm
It's
as
a-
them.
It's like a team thing.
Yeah.
And I never played sports or anything like that in high school. So like I was into just being at the gym by myself, or I might work out with some friends every now and then.
Yeah.
But ever since joining here, I like love that team environment that we're all competing with each other at practice, but it's just to make everybody better.
Yeah. And that's one thing too, is you can tell when people are, no one points out faults in other people, because it could easily be pointed out in you, with people that are there.
Yeah.
And so there's no, in a weird way, there's no negative to it, unless you put it on yourself. Like, you can be disappointed in yourself and stuff, but everyone else is like it's that whole building up. And even like you said it at Anytime Fitness, you can find the same people that show up those days, and you'll eventually say hi to them.
Yeah.
Or eventually like, oh, hey, what are you doing today? Like, literally, that's all you have to say. There's so many people out there that are working one thing, that are, like they're hypertrophic, just like working out a body part. Be like, oh, what's today? Legs. Be like, cool, blah blah. And you just start these little conversations, because they may be at a different stage of the journey, but they're still on that path.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And would you say don't jump in head first, like just jump into the deep end of starting fitness, like starting working out, like of that?
It would depend on like what level you're at. Like
Yeah.
if you never
Like beginner,
Yeah.
like just
if you
beginner.
never like had a real workout, because I remember when I first started, I just thought like I'm just gonna bench press every day, and the
Yeah.
next thing my shoulder is just clicking and clacking, and I can't raise it up. Like, and then I'm looking on YouTube, and they're like, yeah, you need to work out your back so you don't have an imbalance in your shoulder.
Yeah.
And then that's how I learned how to work out, like just watching YouTube videos and YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest is look online. There's so much information.
Yeah, or even just get on the elliptical or ask the. That's one thing too is I never did it. I never really did it, but the staff, it's kind of their fucking
Yeah,
job. So ask them, be like, hey, how do you do an elliptical, or what would you suggest for this? Because like they're not, if they're a trainer, they're more likely not going to show you exactly how to do it because they
yeah.
get paid to do that. But they'll be like, oh, hey, do kettlebells or this or that or whatnot.
And they had a lot of the gyms have complimentary training sessions for when you first join.
Yeah,
You just have to sign up.
yeah, that makes sense. Or even classes.
Yeah, and then a lot of it is because like I'm an introvert, and it's like with the internet and so many screens and laptops and iPads and shit like that. It's like society has gotten so introverted to where like it's so uncomfortable just to have a conversation with somebody that you don't know now. So you're scared for no reason.
Well, and it's so easy to just look at something instead of engage. That's funny you said that. I was at the doctor the other day. They were going to draw some labs, and I'm there, and I was about to pull out my phone, and I looked, and it was phone, phone, phone. No one except this old guy, and he was reading a paper, and I was like, look at this motherfucker. I'm gonna be like this guy. And I literally just put my phone up and just kind of looked around and waved, like just engaged in the community, just in whatever that group was, because everyone else was on their phone and they were all in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was crazy. So yeah, you don't have to talk to anyone
Yeah,
to do it. But I think that's a problem too. Is I think there's people willing to help, but they're not asked.
Yeah.
So people think. Like I had a boss one time that was like, if I'm not talking to you, you're doing a good job. But that didn't work for me because I didn't need like, hey, you're doing a good job, but be like, oh, hey, keep it up. Like that's all I needed, just that, because otherwise I thought, well, this person's not talking to me. They must think I'm a piece of shit. So yeah, we're about out of time, so we're gonna sign off here.
all right. Donnell Polk, Pantheon Fitness.
John Thane, have a good one.
All right.